welcome back to the Unlock a Life You Love podcast. My name's Dr. Tim Teel. I am the Doc of Unlock, and I have the unique opportunity to have for the second week in a row Theda Phoenix. Theda is a sound healer. You can find her at thedaphoenix.com, Theda Phoenix. .com, or you can also find her at livingsoundtemple.com. You can also find her on YouTube. She is a fantastically interesting human being. We had such a great time last week. We're going to bring her back this week and talk some more about what she does and how she does it. And sound healing, as Theda introduced to us last week, is just another energetic tool that we can use to try and dig down inside of that heart and open ourselves up. And Theda, if you would, if people didn't have the opportunity to talk or to hear last week, just tell us a little bit about what it is that you do. And they can always go back and listen to last week's podcast. But no, give me the 5,000-foot view of what Theda Phoenix does.
Yeah, so I create music for healing. I create music with my voice and a variety of different instruments to help people to access spaces of deep relaxation, balancing the nervous system, reconnecting with their hearts and what's really important to them, reconnecting with their own inner guidance and higher self guidance, or feel connected with a spiritual, divine, loving presence, because I believe that we are all divinely loved. And I use sound healing and my voice as a channel specifically to bring in frequencies and healing energies that I feel connected to, both on this planet, informed by the elementals and the elements, the earth, age-old traditions, and people often will see kind of different guides that I'm working with, and also cosmic supportive, beings, if you believe in that as well, light beings that are here to help anchor and help people to bridge into the fullness of what they're meant to do, and raising the vibration on this planet.
Fantastic. Well said. I like it. What do you do? What problem do you solve? You told us all. That's great. So if you have some albums out there, but you also work with people individually and in groups, is that correct?
Yeah, mostly in groups, but also individually. And I do kind of a variety of things with this work. So I do group sound healing experiences and kind of sound journeys, I call them. I've been doing this for over 15 years, since about 2007, but I've been singing intuitively for longer than that. And that has looked like I had the opportunity to get up on stages with some well-known authors like Dr. Deepak Chopra and Joe Dispenza and Carolyn Meese and Araya Mountain Dreamer and a few different people like that. I would get up on their stages and sing these intuitively channeled songs. I'm also a singer-songwriter as well. So I do have a singer-songwriter album. But yeah, there's quite a few things that I do. So I also work with people to help activate their own voices as well. So I teach an intuitive singing class online, and I work one-on-one with people as an intuitive guide to help people open up their own, like liberate themselves through their voice, because I really believe that the voice, we all have that built-in healing, sound healing tool of the voice. As long as we can speak or hum, we all have that ability to resonate in the body. And the voice, when we hum, it vibrates the vagus nerve and helps to
Yes.
rebalance.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
talking my language. You're talking to the doc, baby. Yes, yes. This is one of the
Yeah.
primary things that we teach. No, thank you very
Well,
much for
awesome.
no, for no, for noticing that we're stimulating the vagus nerve and slowing down things and stimulating our parasympathetic nervous system, for crying out loud.
Yes, so important,
It
especially
is.
in this day and age. And we're so bombarded all the time with so much information and things that are pulling on our emotions and our amygdala and fear, fight or flight. And it's like, no, people, we need to get back. That's why we have all these amazing tools, right?
That's
To
exactly right. No,
access.
we have fantastic tools, but they don't work unless we use them. And
Exactly.
if we make fun of them and throw them away because we don't understand, and that's been a huge barrier for a long time. That's coming down very rapidly. It's a fascinating day and age that we live in. That people are uh, much more open to hearing some of the strange
That's
things that are coming out of our mouths. I mean,
the benefits. The benefits are being, it's weighing up now. Like it's being, it's building the benefits over time, right? And you can't.
absolutely. And the crazy thing for me in medicine was always, we have accepted the fact that anger and hatred and anxiety and sadness and all the rest of these things will damage your health.
Mhm.
When's the last time anybody talked about about love and faith and peace and all the rest of that stuff helping to establish good health? In Western medicine, we only believe in one half of that equation. That's like believing in up but not down, left but not right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hot but not cold. I mean, are you for real? That's because we got a pill for everything else, and unfortunately, what I learned was that some of those pills have a lot of side effects, and
Mhm.
we can run down a rabbit hole forever about that. But but the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about what you're doing, and the beautiful thing about all of the other energy techniques that we bring on and talk about in this podcast is what are the side effects to this?
Mhm.
Who gets hurt using sound healing?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I've heard about some contraindications, but I don't know if I necessarily buy into that again because it could be though, and it depends on the sound healing that you're doing because there is quite a variety. But intention and sometimes with any kind of healing, sometimes it does look like things are getting stirred up as we talked about last week, and
Right.
that sometimes we don't see the results immediately necessarily, right? Or there's some other things that come up with transformation or with people going through spiritual awakenings. It can actually really rock the status quo or
Yeah,
rock the
it can
boat
be pretty
or
uncomfortable.
yeah, and so it's like really important to yeah, find support for our journey wherever we're at, right? To get comfortable to not comfortable, but comfortable with sometimes with the discomfort of expansion, right?
Right. Well, in a
And
world where we're not supposed to ever be uncomfortable in any set of circumstances, and I want a pill for being uncomfortable, you got to understand, no, childbirth, wonderful thing. There's some pain and discomfort, that's associated with it. Puberty, a
and I
wonderful thing. There's pain and discomfort that comes with it.
yeah, as we grow.
There's pain and discomfort that comes with any form of growth.
I
And
always
we have to grow up and understand that. And the tools that you're using are a way to help us get through that.
I always like to come back to the metaphor of the butterfly, the caterpillar, and the butterfly, and actually wrote a song about that on my singer-songwriter album. But because it's like literally, and Deepak Chopra talked about this when I sang at his event, where the caterpillar literally dissolves and becomes the nourishment for the new like cells of the butterfly. So it's literally going through a complete dissolving of itself to become something new that it was always meant to become, right? So I always use that as a metaphor when I'm going through challenging times that are very uncomfortable. It's like, okay, just trust the process. This is exactly where I need to be in this moment. Just like something new is birthing, as long as I am not trying to run away from the experience and trying to like fix it or medicate it. If I can just keep just trust and let it continue to kind of purge through me, because often it's those things that we struggle with that show up while they're in purging, right? So it's like we think that we're not getting better, but actually that stuff just needed to come up and we just need to let it be okay. And that's one thing I love about emotional freedom technique actually as well, EFT tapping, it's because it's like really gives permission to like even though like I'm feeling all these things, I love and accept myself. Just that basic. I like doing that basic, script for it. And it's like, yes, this is exactly where I need to be. And then the energy transforms and shifts, and it's like riding a wave into a new
Yeah,
possibility.
well, let's no, you mentioned the butterfly thing. What happens when we help the butterfly? Do you know what
Oh
happens if
yeah,
we help
then
the
it dies.
butterfly?
It
It
dies.
dies. It dies. It doesn't.
We need a certain level of that stress, right? To grow us. Yeah, so it's yeah, really helpful.
Exactly. No, that's no that that stress is part of the life cycle, and if you deny that part of the life cycle doesn't doesn't go on. It stops. And so, as we live our lives, it behooves us to understand that discomfort is part of the growing process. And when we, I will tell you, I mentioned EFT in our last one. You've mentioned it here. Part of my introduction into energy work was through EFT, and I experienced early childhood separation from my mother at the age of 6 months old. Was reunited at 12 or 14 months old, and went on with my life, not realizing that the incredible emotional mark that was left on me. And at the tender age of 51, I am reading about this, and I go to tapping on early childhood separation from my mom. I do one, two. I got to the third tapping point, and the first time that I did this, I had a cry that came out of me, started in my belly button, came out through my chest. It it literally freaked me out. I was like, "What in the world is going on?" I cried so hard for 10 minutes. I thought I was going to die. 10 minutes. I cried. And, thank God I was alone, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and the only reason I'm doing it is because I couldn't sleep, and, this goes on for 10 minutes. Um, like, I wanted to puke. I couldn't breathe. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die, and then it just quit.
Yeah.
And I'm
Ah,
just sitting there in stunned silence going, "What the heck just happened here?" And so I said, "I'm not doing that anymore." Well, 2 months later, I'm sitting in the same stupid chair at 4 o'clock in the morning going, "All right," just out of just pure curiosity, wondering what the heck is going to happen if I do it again. I get to the third tapping point, the same thing happens. Same
wow.
thing. I cry so hard I think I'm going to die. I want to puke. I can't breathe. I got chest pain. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm just banging on my face and banging on my hands, and I'm going, no, I'm okay. Even though this happened, I'm okay. And it is just nuts. And but it only lasted 5 minutes this time, and I thought, well,
Yeah.
that's pretty freaky. I didn't like it. I'm not doing that again. 2 weeks later, I'm in the same chair doing the same thing. And no, and this time I'm banging away. I get to I get to my eyebrow, and I'm like, despite my early childhood separation from my mom, okay, nothing
Yeah.
happened,
Amazing.
nothing. And I'm like, hello, uh, despite my early childhood separation from my mom, I love and accept myself. I'm okay. I went through all of the different tapping points twice, and I take a big deep breath, nothing happens. And I just sat there, and I kind of paid attention, like what you were talking about earlier, that that happens with some of the people who listen to your stuff. I I just paid attention to myself, and I thought something's missing. And
Yeah.
it was this twisting sensation that I had had that went right across my chest. For 50 years, I had that in there. I just thought it was normal. I mean, I thought everybody walked around with this, felt like somebody twisting a towel or a wire or something inside my chest, and it hurt all the time. It was gone. It was gone from that moment to this is gone. Okay. And I'm like, well, that was weird. They certainly didn't teach me any of this crap in medical school, residency training, or anywhere else. And they don't talk about that stuff because that fixed the problem. And in medicine, we manage things for money. Okay. And if you fix it, then you can't come back and manage it. Right. So somebody finally explained that to me late in my career. And that's when I decided to send my medical degree back to
Yeah.
my medical license back to the state of Texas. I said, I'm not here to manage things. I'm here to fix stuff. And when I took that same tool back to my clinic, we saw the same kind of results, only we were just tapping on little stuff. When I walk up, walk into the room and say, "Hey, I want to put a scope in your nose," and people are like, "What? You going to do what?" Yeah, we're gonna put a scope in your nose. We're gonna run it down your throat. And we're gonna look around there and see what no, you see what hey, freak smooth out.
Do you go on, sorry.
So
I was
and
wondering if you teach, like, do you teach EFT, like, and have podcasts just on EFT as well, like, and because it's such a
oh
miraculous
yeah, we've
thing.
got it all over our website here. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, you
we
do.
use
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
It's a primary tool that we use. It's not the be all and the end all. That's
No,
what's
there's so
awesome.
many. There's
It's
so many
exactly,
amazing
exactly,
things.
and that's exactly why we have you here talking about this and no, and your modality, because no, I'm telling you, the things that we're talking about here change a civilization, and everybody is ready for it. The world is ready for what you have to say. The world is ready for what we have to say here. And no, and the reason that no, that you're here is because you have a story, and I want to help you tell it. And I have a story, and you're helping me tell it. Everybody wins here. Okay, exactly. See, everybody wins. And the point is that, no, and the take home message from all of this stuff is suffering is optional today. We're here to learn the very things that Theta Phoenix is trying to help you. Theta Phoenix is the can opener to your emotions. Okay. The things that you're, no, that you need to feel, she's the can opener. EFT is a can opener. Okay. And sometimes the crap that comes out of that can when it first comes out, it stinks. It's
Well, but also sometimes we are, so the other piece that for me, what I had also mentioned this at some point, is bringing in also experiences of profound beauty, right?
precisely.
That it's like where we're not necessarily having to like go back always into the wounds or the pains, like yeah, that's there, but sometimes it's an experience of profound beauty and profound love that actually like cracks our heart open enough that allows those feelings to be experienced in a way that's not painful. It's like it's
Precisely.
that,
And
oh
brief.
my God.
And brief. Okay.
And grief, yeah, where it's like, wow, I'm transformed from the profound beauty. I know people who have been addicts and then like drug addiction and then did like an ayahuasca ceremony and had an experience of like experiencing profound love that then like changed their life. They're like, I'm not an addict anymore because I have experienced the profound love that I was disconnected from. And they do talk about like addiction being a spiritual deficit. And I went through a journey with my younger brother, with him struggling with addiction, and so I've gotten some experience like in that realm now, and what people go through, and that's one thing that they really that is like a prime thing is this spiritual, the absence of that spiritual connection, like a spiritual deficit. So not having a relationship with our higher power, and so this coming home to that we belong and we're part of something so much more than just the single human that we were born as. Remembering that is such a beautiful thing, and I believe that that alone can transform the entire world, you know, because then we're in our heart and we're coming from compassion and we're not able to condone, you know, hate and anger and things like othering, because we see that we're all these beautiful, you know, parts of like raindrops of the ocean, you know, we're all droplets of the same ocean. And I don't know, like I do believe that it's sometimes it's hard in this world, like to be that kind, but I feel like the world, we just need more and more, you know, of people to coming alive, because I do fundamentally believe that we all, you know, have can realize that we belong to something so much more.
Right. Exactly. I no, I remain absolutely convinced that no, that these lives that we are living are not what they appear to be. That no, there is so much more that no to our lives and to our experience here than we can weigh and we can measure. we have to be able to get beyond that. Okay. No, we have to, no, we have to start feeling our way through, no, through this experience of life, exactly like your intuitive singing does, one word at a time. Okay. And, no, and if we can teach anybody, something incredibly important, it would be how to open up your mouth and open up your heart and open up your life and take one step at a time in the dark, not knowing where that foot's going to land, where that word is going to land, but trusting with the intention of love and healing and hope and all the positive emotions that we can come up with, and the faith that that what we do is going to land okay. And Theta Phoenix can show you how to do that. Okay. It's what she does every thinking day. Okay. And that's why we have her here to teach that message. What else do you want to say? What else needs to be said, Theta?
I'm hearing music. It's
Maybe
just,
it's in your head. Maybe it's the music that
I'm
needs to come
hearing
through the
music.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. What else needs to be said? Yeah, there's um, just, oh my gosh, there's so many things.
Let me ask you this. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. If people want to experience Theta Phoenix, and how can they do that?
Yeah, go to my website.
It's
And
Theta Phoenix, Theda
yeah,
Phoenix
OE, yeah,
OE
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Um,
ThedaPhoenix.com. They can also get a hold of you at livingsoundtemple.com, right? Same
yeah.
stuff, or is it different
So
flavored each one of those?
livingsoundtemple.com actually has it's a gift, a 7-minute bliss alignment audio meditation. And that is a gift that people can receive if they want to
Wait,
through
wait, wait,
living.
wait, 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 hold on. They don't even have to pay for it.
No, it's a free gift.
I love you.
And then you'll be connected with me and be able to receive other things. I'm ready to be just reaching more and more people with this work. I've been growing it for many, many years. And like I was saying earlier, there's a relational piece, right? So I really love the in-person sound journeys that I do. And there's a power that happens when we all come together with a shared intention. And I was recently at a festival in British Columbia that was basically like, it was called Enliven, and it was basically like a ceremony the entire time. And there was such a high vibration intention of this festival that I experienced a healing of my own, and this higher self integration, and then shared a sound journey, which was like just this potent transmission, and so much like light language came through, which is, I believe, is like supportive energies, supportive spiritual energies. There's other people out there who talk about it more if you're curious about learning about light language. But and it's like an activation that just upgrades and helps release and anchoring new codes into ourselves, right? And these ancient loving energies and codes. So that's been coming through as well recently, which is really
So,
beautiful.
so what would you tell people that would accuse you of saying, "Oh, well, this isn't according to my religion." How do you
Yeah,
respond to that?
I know. So the mind wants to create, all these different, like, this is that, that's part of what the mind does. The mind likes to create boxes and associations, and this goes with that. And ultimately, it's, you know, I, aligning with just like affirming and that you're receiving only what's aligned with you and your your spiritual beliefs, and that love ultimately is comes in I feel all like I feel like I'm quite a soft person, really. Like, so I sometimes things that sound like bold statements to me because everybody has different views, right? We all have our own perspectives. We all have our own views. But ultimately, it's like the people that are really tuned in, I feel like, to the channel of love flowing, you can see it, you can tell. It's not like this religion is, is better than this. It's like, no, like we worship our connection with our spiritual source, whatever name we give to that, and that's our relationship and the way that we connect, and that it's not doesn't mean that the other person people don't have also a clear connection, potentially, right?
Right.
Like if we choose to anchor into the high frequency. And yeah, people have different beliefs. People don't have to agree with me. It's
Right.
like
I always
we
tell people, listen, that what we're trying to do here is not create any new religion. What we're
no,
trying to do is enhance what it is that no that people have,
exactly.
experience it, and if it ministers to your soul, then by all means do it, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't, then go away. It's
Well
okay.
said. Yeah. So
Okay.
I sang this morning for a meditation group. I'm in Ontario, Canada right now. And I was singing, and this woman told me after that there was a point where I said I was singing the words "I am here," and right in that moment, just before I sang that, she felt her guru right in front of her.
Right.
And so I'll just say this one last piece. The way that my gift works is it's not about me bringing in something that's a foreign thing. My gift works as like I'm an amplifier. And so the things, the connection, the spiritual connections and the traditional connections that people in the space that are receiving are connected to, those things will channel through me. So it's like what channels through me often is related to who's receiving it in the
Right.
moment. And if
Beautiful.
it touches you and it fits and it resonates, then that was meant for you. And if it doesn't, then it wasn't meant for you, right?
Right.
So,
Exactly. Well
yeah.
said. Well said. Theta Phoenix, thank you so much for shedding a little light on into this corner of our world, showing folks another tool that they can use to just live a better life and help them unlock a life they love. Thank you so much for being here, young lady.
I
Thank you
feel like
so
there's so
much.
much more we could talk about as well.
There
I think
is, and you know what? No,
you
we're
barely
gonna
scratched the surface.
we're gonna have you back, sis. No, so don't worry about that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us and to talk to my audience. We'll have you back. So hang in there, and best wishes to you and all the people that you serve. ThedaPhoenix.com or livingsoundtemple.com. You can actually experience her for free at livingsoundtemple.com. Theda, thanks for being here. Thanks for shedding a little more light. My name's Dr. Tim Teel. I am the Doc of Unlock, and this is the Unlock a Life You Love podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.